Yo, what's good, y'all? How we doing? How y'all doing? Today I did not trade today. If you guys didn't see Road to Funded, I'm not going to trade at all this week, and I probably won't trade for the next 2 weeks. So that being said, I will strictly just be tapering and just strictly seeing what Price is doing. And today was an interesting day. ICT was live streaming. I went and watched that. He brought my attention to certain points that I'm going to bring out and that I'm going to show. And if you guys didn't see his live stream, I would recommend watching that because he's a better teacher than me because he knows a lot more. But I'm not a teacher. I'm just a student of the game. I'm always here to learn, and I am not profitable yet, so don't take my stuff. I'm just here to see what the market does, and I know that when I become profitable, I'll become a better teacher, or not even a teacher, but a better communicator, I guess you could say. But let's get right into what the charts are doing, what the charts did today, and what happened. So as you can see here, we had this daily order block that ICT brought my attention to, and we also have this daily fair value gap. As you see within this range, price had respected this fair value gap here and this order block right here. Notice how well we just bounced off that order block. We also have SMT at the lows here. Pretty sure it's with this low with ES. Let me pull up to see exact low it was on the daily chart, but we do have SMT at the lows. Yeah, this low works. SMT at the lows right now, and then price ends up bouncing off this order block, and then last week, we just kept on working our way up here to where we just taken external range liquidity. We have completed this market maker buy and sell model here. Notice how we have sell side of the curve go up. We deliver buy side of the curve to then come back down and have sell side of the curve to then have bearish order flow, and we deliver that pretty quick. Sell side of the curve got completed very quick, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. 5 days that we completed this sell side of the curve, and then obviously like buy side of the curve was probably a whole like 40 or 60 days. But just by looking at this looks pretty bearish. I want to see right now the draw on liquidity is clearly this daily fair value gap. So we want to see how price is going to react off this level. What you could mark out here is you can mark out levels within this. So you can mark out your 0, 25%, 50%, 75% just to see how price is going to react off of that. Are we going to come in, and are we just going to fill in this 25% and then going to move to the downside? Or are we going to come in, fill consequent encroachment of this, and then get a move downside? Or are we going to fill in this whole thing and then get a move downside? Or are we going to completely disrespect this move all the way back to the upside? Obviously, I don't think that will happen. We've now had market structure shift, and just by looking at this chart, like we definitely have room to work back lower. But if we're just looking at this, we have retraced back into OTE of this price leg. And as well as that, ES has now, sorry, my chart's a little bit cluttered. ES is now within this daily imbalance. It is now probably going to work its way up above this daily imbalance. So the last line of defense for me on ES becomes this wick here, the consequent encroachment of this wick, and also this order block. So if price comes up to here, and if we don't do something like this, then I would expect to run on new highs. But if we hold this area, I would expect for us to then continue and then just continue selling off, maybe target these lows down here, and we'll see what price ends up doing once we get to these areas. We do have red folder news tomorrow, and we have FOMC Wednesday. So with that being said, FOMC is just going to push us to the RE16 draw. FOMC will logically push us in any news event, will logically push us to a draw that we already have established. News isn't just going to randomly put us in different places where we couldn't have expected beforehand. If we have manipulated before the news event, which on a news event like FOMC, which there was a guy on Twitter, I think his name was Trader Diego. I saw he had a good FOMC guide, but basically with FOMC, the first 30 minutes is going to be, there's typically going to be 2 manipulation moves within FOMC. The first manipulation move is going to be the 2 to 230 move. That's going to be the fake manipulation move. And then from 230 onwards, that's when we're going to have the real manipulation move. We want to be in on the real manipulation move. We want to catch the real manipulation move. But basically, I'm going to backtest FOMC a little bit coming in tomorrow. And then tomorrow, I actually might pull up a few examples of a FOMC on stream so we kind of know what we're looking at. And then we can get into going FOMC nitty gritty. But basically, FOMC, first 30 minutes, you're going to have a fake manipulation move to then have a real manipulation move. Yeah, look up Trader Diego on Twitter. He had a good post on that if you guys want to look more into that. But basically, yeah, we're working our way up. We're clearly bullish. Look, that's what the daily time frame is looking at. We have this daily order block that we price respected very well. Let me remove that. If we drop down to the hourly time frame, notice how well we respected consequent encroachment of this fair value gap yesterday. On NQ as well, we have these stacked relative equal highs within this daily fair value gap. Anytime we have highs nestled within a an imbalance, this is just going to be a market maker model written all over it. Notice what price been doing. Notice how bullish this action looks. Notice how well we're working our way up. Right when we had this, I've been saying that we're likely going to head back to this original consolidation. Then I kind of doubted my ideas. Then once it got to this is just a deep retracement to then head higher. Notice how deep this retracement was to then us just head higher. We had the earnings play, and then we had consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. Get held nicely. Okay, what was price action today? What was price action day? What could you have been looking at going into today's session? Basically, I've been trying to do a lot more back testing with these session profiles and with like what London and Asia do. Right here was typical seek and destroy. I know it wasn't like absolutely perfect, but you still could have expected this. Monday with no red folder news before a news event like FOMC and NFP on the same week. Normally, if you're trading NFP, you want to get most of your trading done by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the AM sessions. Today was a day to which I didn't trade at all. I was watching ICT's live stream, which is what I would recommend you guys do. I'll watch it tomorrow and Wednesday as well. If you guys want notes on that live stream as well, I have my notes posted in Discord of that. So if you guys join my free Discord, it's in the description. I have my notes posted in free resources. You can look at that. Even if you're watching this past when I actually recorded this, you can still go in my Discord and look at my notes. They're in free resources. They'll be there. But basically, Asia we come out. We have Asia high and low. Then that gets taken within London. We take Asia high and low in London. And then in New York, what are we going to do? Take London high and low. Anything after this is just probably lower probability. We're probably just going to get whack price action, whack moves. And that's exactly what we got. We got like pretty much not very good price action, which there was only really one trade that really stuck out to me today, and that was kind of pre-market. But we're gonna go over it. That I have it already drawn out for us. But basically, what I want to do is I just want to pull up these, and I just want to see where do you guys think the entry is gonna be here? Where do you guys think the entries are gonna be offered here? This is me drawing over this, and that's why I like this. This is a schematic of what the model was, and I really like doing this. It kind of ingrains it in your brain more. So you can see market structure here, shift here, pull back to probably an imbalance here, or order block here. Then we have, so this is your low risk entry, smart money reversal, first stage, and then second stage. It's not the cleanest. You're probably not always going to get first stage, second stage every time. And then we have original consolidation here that we trade away from, to then have smart money reversal, to then have low risk entry, to then have first stage of distribution, second stage of first stage of accumulation, and then second stage of reaccumulation. So let's go over what that kind of looks like in that annotated chart. As you can see here, we have an original consolidation, and look at this. This is actually pretty clean. We had these stacked smooth edges on ES. Anytime we have stacked smooth edges, we are going to hunt that. That looks way too clean. Anytime, or especially me, a rule that I'm going to have 100% is anytime I'm looking to trade pre-market, it has to be on the 5 minute. Especially if it's before a high impact news day. ICT said that clearly in one of his previous live streams. He said, if you are on a lower time frame, such as the 1 minute before a high impact news driver, you're going to get caught up in chop, and you're going to be trading stuff that you probably shouldn't be trading. And that is a rule that I have for myself. Probably not going to trade high impact news unless if it's, or trade before high impact news, or even pre-market in general. For me, it has to be on the 5 minute or above. And this would have been this is on the 5 minute time frame. We have these smooth edges here to then have that smart money reversal confirmed with the SMT. Also, we came into that new week opening gap pretty nicely. Look at what we respected that. SMT, higher time repeated array. Why does order flow reverse? SMT, higher time from repeated array. We will not reverse unless if we have an SMT and a higher time from repeated array. This is just one example that I have of that. But every time the market reverses order flow, anytime that we reverse order flow, you best damn sure believe that we have an SMT or a higher time repeated array. If we don't have that, then it is just a retracement. And this is what we had, SMT, higher time repeated array. Order flow gets shifted. That's confirmed with the market structure shift. Here you have that low risk entry on that order block, and then you have your first stage of accumulation right here. This probably would have been your best entry. This also was a 15-minute fair value gap, a 15-minute order block. This would have been your best entry right here, and then we have that second stage of accumulation. After that, intermediate term low is confirmed. That's when you have your silver bullet. This would have been a nice entry on this fair value gap as well. So that's what I would have. That's what I was looking at for this was the better entry. This was the best entry that I saw. And yeah, and then just by looking at this, where would you guys expect to see the entry? Right here, we have not really so much original consolidation, but I can guarantee you it's original consolidation that we then trade away from to then have a smart money reversal to then have your low risk entry, and then it looks like we only have really a silver bullet here. You're not always going to get first stage and second stage, but notice silver bullet is that intermediate term low, usually that fast move, low resistance liquidity. Let's see what that chart looks like. Here we have that SIBI down here that we respected nice. Look at all this low resistance liquidity. We then have not really so much a market structure shift, kind of here. Yeah, that would be your market structure shift. You can count that as your market structure shift. Then pull back to the imbalance. Also, this is probably equilibrium of this price leg to then get bought up. You're looking for here. You may take off a contract here to then ultimately have your runner go to this high, and then we come down, and then notice here we have an SMT with YM. It's not the cleanest. I am starting to backtest YM a lot more and look at YM SMTs a lot more because YM is actually, it shows you and it can tip your hand. It can tip your hand to tell you where the market's going to be, where the market's going to go. How do you get a free My Fund Futures account? Create a content. Yo, bro, where you been? I was watching ICT's live stream today, but basically Friday I was moving. I'm now in a new crib in a new house. And then Monday, Tuesday this week, or today and tomorrow this week, I will not be live streaming, which kind of sucks. But it's for the better. Like, I'm here. I'm going to gain more knowledge. I become more knowledgeable. And I feel like if I'm going to be able to really become a trader and come on here on live stream, bro, like, I need to become more knowledgeable first. And I'm not in a situation where I want to be just with my knowledge in the markets. So, therefore, I'm going to work to get to that level. And then once I'm on that level, the live streams will be so much better because I'll have so much more information and more accurate information, more back-tested information. And I'll be a much better trader. Would you agree that that's probably better in the long run? Just sacrifice some time right now. I'm gonna be live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, probably, unless if I tell you guys otherwise. But maybe I might take a break from live streaming, but I'm not 100% sure. But I really enjoy live streaming, so I'll probably be live Wednesday for sure for FOMC. So I will be live. Don't worry, I'm not. This is not the end of me. I'm just getting better. I will always have MMXM reviews every single day, so you best believe that that's going to happen. SMT with YM, it's not the cleanest. And then notice how we have that silver bullet. Even getting an entry here after that intermediate term low is confirmed with the short term low here would have been a good entry. So let's look at the third example. This is just by looking at this, you probably didn't really get much entry options, maybe an entry here. But other than this doesn't look the greatest. But I just want to point out, because this was after the S&D had already completed. Price is not going to reverse without an SMT. We had an SMT with YM here. We ended up coming down. Could have taken a fair value gap entry here. After we had taken buy side. Why will price reverse? Higher time for PD array, SMT. Higher time for PD array, so just external range liquidity. External range liquidity is a PD array. You best believe. Higher time for PD array, SMT, come down. Market structure shift kind of. Pull back to fair value gap. Short that. Then you don't really get so much of a second entry offered to then we take sell side. And then let's just look at what price action was. Let's just look at what price action was after S&D got completed. So right here we take Asia high low, London high low, New York AM takes both Asia high and low. Then look at what price action does here. It's not the cleanest. It's not the cleanest. This was that SMT here with YM. You also have this kind of like 5-minute gap. Not really. Other than that, you have consequent correction of that wick. That's the only thing like you might be able to frame a trade here, but why would you even try to trade this? Look at the price action. Look at the price action that we have. Does this look clear? Does this look concise? Does this look accurate? Does this look good at all? Not so much in my opinion. You kind of have a breaker here, which is like, oh, I took a breaker for value gap. I guess that could work. Actually, breaker for value gap, low resistance liquidity. This actually does look good. You have failure swing, pull back, SMT with YM, consequent encroachment of that 15-minute wick to then get displacement, to then pull back to the breaker, to then immediately sell off. So a short here actually wouldn't have been bad. Looking back at this, I kind of was hating on it at first, but entry here, put your stop at the high here, targeting there. What is that? 2.7R. Good trade. Good trade. You're right, bro. You're on the right track. Yeah. I'm taking my time with this stuff. Like, I'm taking my time, bro. I will be here at whatever pace it takes. I will be here for however long it takes. Like, I know that the tortoise wins the race in this game. Like, you can catch me, like, just... I could hypothetically come on here, tape read every single day for the next 2 years, and I will be much better off than just trying to jump into the markets, get my heart broken, try to make money, lose all my money, lose all my conviction, try to get funded. Oh, I didn't get funded. Oh, I just blew my funded account. Oh, I wonder why. Probably because you're not a profitable trader in the first place. You know, like I could do that whole thing where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna continue road to funded, but I don't think that's the most beneficial to me in this current moment. I think it's more beneficial for me to study, become a student, back test, have a profitable strategy, come on here, and then show you guys, and then give you guys information, and then give you guys who I really am. What's good? How y'all doing? It's been a minute since I've been on here, and it definitely feels good to be back. Like, it feels great. And I apologize. I was moving. Part of that was because I was moving. It's gonna take some time off, because like I know there's always gonna be another day, bro. Like, there's always gonna be another day. And the thing is, like, don't rush your process, don't rush your journey. And I'm not gonna lie, recently I've been studying my ass off and working my ass off, but there's a point into where too much can kind of be too much. But like, I really want this. You're in ICT's live? Yes, I was. I actually took notes of it, so if you guys want my notes of it, I posted in my Discord. I might pull it up real quick, but basically in my Discord I posted that. I posted it in free resources. So if you guys want my notes on ICT's live, I would say they're pretty good notes. Like, oh, here, gonna be here. Yeah, ICT's how to reprice. They're pretty good notes. If you want that, they're in the Discord. And I also posted some market maker buy model examples, or market maker X model examples. So there's that. Other than that, just by looking at this, obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased because of ICT's draw on liquidity, and it is the right draw on liquidity. But the draw on liquidity for me coming into this next days or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is this daily fair value gap. It makes sense for price to draw up into there. We now have market maker model. I'm expecting overnight session to honestly get us bought up to here. I'm expecting overnight session us to head into this fair value gap, and I want to see what we do in this fair value gap. Obviously, within this range up, we have some failure swings, but it's honestly not that clear to where we kind of have a failure swing here, failure swing here. I think that we could possibly, after FOMC or after we get confirmed, maybe a smart money reversal within here, if that happens, because we still could end up going higher and we could run up on these highs, but I really don't think so because we have SMT and we've had clear displacement. This to me just looks like a retracement into equilibrium of this price leg and back into internal range liquidity to then frame a trade to external range liquidity. So I'm expecting something like this within the next upcoming days. We now taken external range liquidity. Anytime we take external range liquidity in term of a line, we're now going to hunt internal range liquidity, and we are definitely heading in this weekly fair value gap. We also have reacted off as a weekly order block. We also have this weekly inversion fair value gap over here, but I don't think that's very useful to note this. We have relative equal highs here, so I'm expecting the draw to be these equal highs up here on the weekly. If we zoom down from the weekly, we have this clear original consolidation over here to the left, to then have that smart money reversal, to then have kind of your low risk entry, your first stage, and then second stage, or second stage might be up here. First stage might be here, then second stage might be here. But this is looking like we're clearly heading to that original consolidation. If we're looking at this on the lower time frames, we definitely have room to possibly retrace. I'm expecting us to leave this as breakaway until the draw on liquidity is met, but we can retrace all the way back in here. I don't expect that to happen. Just by looking at this structure, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Put in a high, put in a high, put in a high. Low resistance liquidity that we are forming here to then have your smart money reversal, then have your low risk entry, first stage, second stage. So this will become a market maker model within a market maker model on DXY. So I'm fully anticipating and fully expecting this. I'll take this off, and I'll also take this. We don't really need this. And then this blue box up here is this monthly CIBI that we're also drawing into, which I think the draw on liquidity is definitely these highs up here. Clear draw on liquidity on DXY. So with that being said, if you're looking for a higher draw on liquidity on DXY, you're looking for lower prices on indices, which is what I think is going to happen. So obviously there's more room to retrace here. We have this order block right here. I'll expect this to hold as well. Looking at anytime you're looking at higher time frame charts, those order blocks are really going to get respected, and those are what you really want to pay attention to when you're looking at the higher time frame charts. What are your thoughts on gold? I can look at gold real quick. I don't know. I don't really like gold. I never trade gold, and I never. I don't know what happened. Like I guess these are all like someone's drawings on my chart. I don't know what that is. Obviously, it's hard for me to really give much insight because I don't really trade gold, and gold's an all-time high. So if I've never traded gold and gold's an all-time highs, how am I supposed to really frame something off of it? But if I'm just looking at ICT concepts, which is what we're looking at, we've now just gone in internal range liquidity, and this was kind of a short stab into this fair value gap. So I could see something like this, like us coming back down into here to then come back up, but I don't know. I have to see what happens here. We have a daily fair value gap here, so I'm expecting us to go. Actually, yeah, I'm expecting us to go from maybe internal range to external range back into these highs up here. But I can't really tell you, and I can't really frame something off of that. But we have a daily fair value gap here. Today, we kind of just sat within this. In terms of this, we have low resistance liquidity below us. We now have come back into a daily fair value gap. So this could be your internal to external range move. Just by looking at this order flow, this does look kind of bearish, but I have to see. We could come back up, take highs once more, and then get a move lower, or we could be reacting off this daily fair value gap to then head back up into all-time highs. But basically, I don't know. I don't really think that this will be a. I think that we could consolidate here. Obviously, I think FOMC will affect gold. I don't know too much on. I'm assuming it will. So we're kind of within a high and a low right now, to where I don't really know what gold's going to do. I would like to see us take a low before I really would look to really take anything. Any trades today? No, I haven't taken any trades today, and I will not take any trades this week. I'm not trading this week, and I likely won't be trading this month. If you want to learn more about that, go to Road to Funded. Road to Funded Day 18. I posted something in there where I made a video on that, and that'll explain why. But basically, I'm not trading for this next week. And let's look at YM. Let's see if we can frame anything off of YM. Let's see what YM is doing. So YM has left these equal lows here. YM has left these relative equal lows. We have put in a failure swing. We're now coming back into this daily or into this weekly fair value gap here on YM. We've now had displacement. We've now had our change in state delivery on the weekly. I'm expecting this to play out within the next 2 weeks. This looks very, or not within the next 3 weeks. I want to see us come within this CIBI to then internal range to external range. This looks very clear. Draw on liquidity for me is easily this fair value gap here. And notice how well that this lines up with this fair value gap here. Also, we have fair value gaps here. Like this whole range is a fair value gap. So I'm definitely expecting lower prices, but I think it could, like this move could take a little bit longer than just we come in here and then we just dump. But who knows? Who knows? That could happen, especially since dollar looks bullish. But I'm definitely anticipating a move like this to where we come in here, and then the move might take a little bit longer in terms of time. Like if we see this move on the left side, I know the left side is going to be identical to the right side of the curve. But if we look at this side of the curve, this has taken us quite some time. Like this has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This has been 12 weeks on the left side of the curve, and like we pretty much almost taken this low within 3 weeks. So we've almost displaced this whole move, or we've almost countered this whole move within 3 weeks. So I'm expecting to maybe come up here and then maybe have a slower move to the downside. It might be slower, it might be faster. I couldn't really tell you. But basically, I'm bearish on YM. This looks nice looking at the weekly chart. If we're looking at the daily chart, we don't have an imbalance. But this right here is a redelivered rebalanced PD ray. So this fair value gap here is going to be very strong. So if we come up here, this looks very nice. We're now generating liquidity. We now have failure swings here. I'm looking for a potential here and then move lower. So this does look very nice. We'll see how it plays out. Let's zoom down to 4-hour structure just to see what that structure is looking like. But this daily redelivered rebalanced PD ray, notice how we didn't create a fair value gap. We immediately this whole range is balanced. Normally we'd have a fair value gap here, but this PD ray is honestly stronger than a fair value gap. If you guys want to look at that more in depth, I would look at MMXM Trader's course. It definitely has some good information. If we're looking at this as well, but notice what else we have here. Equal highs in this imbalance. What does that tell you? Market's likely going to draw up here because we have equal highs in imbalance. So with that being said, whenever you have liquidity stacked within imbalance, it's higher probability. Because why does the market move? What does the market move off of? What are we always moving off of? Liquidity and imbalances. We're always hunting one of those two. If we're not going higher to hunt stops, we're going up to hunt an imbalance. We're either doing one of those two things: liquidity or imbalances. That's literally it. That's all it. Do you have any prop firm recommendations? I would recommend Top Step, and then I would say Top Step. My fund of futures is reputable. That I like. They've reached out to me. I like my fund of futures, and then Top Step. I don't know. And then Apex. I know people that use Apex. I don't know. I'm not really the guy to ask for funded accounts. I've never really used funded accounts. I've never had to pay out for a funded account, so I couldn't really tell you. But right here, what this is looking like, it's looking like we could use this 4-hour fair value gap as inversion. What we're kind of doing to then get bought up to these relative equal highs, to then come into that redelivered rebalanced PD array, to then have a market maker sell model within the upcoming weeks. But this looks nice. Both the indices, or all three of the indices, are looking like we're going to work our way up to then have a move lower. ES looks like we could have a ES. ES still looks bearish. I want to see us come back within here, within this wick here, to then head lower. All three of the indices are correlated, and that also goes in line with the dollar bias. So within these upcoming days, within these upcoming weeks, I think that the opportunity will be very nice. Obviously, we have FOMC this week, and then NFP this week as well. FOMC Wednesday, NFP Friday. Let's pull up the economic calendar just so I can look at what we're looking at, just so I can show you guys on stream. But yeah, let's pull this up. Tomorrow we have 8:30 and 10 a.m. news, so that's something to note out for. 8:30 should be the manipulation, should be that first manipulation. If 8:30 does not manipulate us, then 10 a.m. will. If 8:30 gives us a manipulation move, then 10 a.m. will likely be a manipulation move. What day was it that we had 8:30 and 10 a.m. news? Revised consumer sentiment did not do a single thing, but consumer sentiment will. But revised consumer sentiment, you also got to look at what the report is. News, like ICT was saying within his live stream today, news is just going to give the algo a reason to spool price. It's just going to speed up the delivery. It's not going to all of a sudden give us a random thing. Even earnings such as Microsoft, and we had Tesla earnings and Google earnings, they push us to the already existing draw. Even earnings did, which I will say that there are going to be times when there's going to be like some earnings that probably won't line up, but earnings will probably look at UCAD. Okay. You want me to look at any? I'll be down. I'll be down to give like the weekly insight on all forex pairs as well, just to see what price is gonna do. Just to see what price is gonna do. But let me look at UCAD first. I think I have that. Yeah, I do. It's right here. Wait, didn't you say you was taking a break or something, or am I? Well, I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break from the funded, and I'm not gonna trade funded. But I'm not taking a break from trading. Hell no. All right, just by looking at this on the weekly chart. I'm tweaking. This looks very nice. Internal range liquidity. Now what are we gonna head to? External range liquidity. So the draw to me on the higher time frame becomes this high. Let's look at the monthly. Let's have a monthly perspective here. If we come down, we have taken these stops here, and then this kind of looks like dollar. This looks like the dollar chart as well. If we come down, we have ran sell stops here. So when it makes sense for price to go lower. So I'm expecting, like honestly, draw to be these highs, these monthly highs within the next upcoming months. And then if we're dropping down to a weekly chart, we've had the manipulation move out the lows. We've respected this order block. Notice this low, and then we have a low here as well. This looks very nice. Structure is bullish here. We have equal highs here, failure swing here, clear draws at these highs. Let's drop down to the daily. If we're looking at the daily, we have now a daily fair value gap that is looking like we are working our way into. Notice how price is stalling within here. I'm going to delete that weekly imbalance and just refine it to the daily imbalance, because the daily imbalance looks a lot better. Notice what price is doing. Low resistance liquidity here. I'm expecting us to get a potential, maybe another move lower, to then have market structure shift. First stage, second stage, to then have delivery up into here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at on UCAD. Let's look at some other forex pairs, such as US Swiss. If we're looking at this, this is kind of, we just swept this low here. Overall structure is bearish. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly, we've had a market structure shift on the weekly. It's now looking like intermediate term highs is likely going to be the draw. So here on, I don't really know how to frame this. We have now taken internal range liquidity. If we're talking about just internal versus external range, not within fair value gaps or highs and lows. So we could head lower, but this candle here looks very bullish. This candle right here, the fact that we had a wick, like that's such a bullish candle. And look at where that wick respected perfectly. Respected this fair value gap, this BISI, and also this order block perfectly. So just by looking at this looks pretty bullish. Obviously structure doesn't look appealing. We're just consolidating. So when we're consolidating, we can only expand. We can't reverse. So the fact that we're consolidating, that tells me that we can only go up to the draw since we are consolidating. So that's what I'm looking at. And yeah. Anything else? Let's look at Euro USD. I know Euro USD. See, that's why, like, I don't know what happened to this. Like, somehow my charts got, like, someone else was. If we're looking at this the monthly chart, we have now taken this high. Drop down to the weekly. Let's look at this at a weekly perspective. Weekly, we have taken buy side here. We completed buy side of the curve. Looking at monthly, I can't really tell you. I don't really know what this is. I think this is probably like news event or like something outside of just price action here. Looking at the daily, bearish structure. Putting in intermediate term highs. We're respecting them. We just swoop this high. It looks like the draw is going to be this original consolidation. Just by looking at this, I don't really love the chart, though. I don't really love the chart. I wouldn't really know how to frame a trade around this. I'm expecting consolidation. I'm expecting consolidation to then have something like this. Or maybe it's not even something as clean as that, but I'm expecting consolidation here. I feel like the markets ran out of juice here, and I feel like we're just gonna be consolidating. Let's look. Anything else? Anything else? Let's look at this. Will you be demo trading or just full on no trades? I'm just gonna be tape reading. I'm just gonna be seeing what price does. Just absolutely just soak it in and see what price does. That's all I will be doing this next week and probably the next month. Because I will say sometimes, especially if I'm looking to trade, I get a little bit too biased and I just like want to place a trade and I kind of want to make money, and then I end up not seeing things in price. And I feel like if I just take a step back and just say, hey, I'm just gonna look at price and I'm just gonna see what price does. I'm just gonna see, like, from a top-down approach, what is price actually doing, and then I feel like that would be more beneficial to me in the long run because I'm in no rush to get this because I know that it will happen. All right, on this pair, I don't really like looking at that. We just took all-time highs, or not all-time highs. We just took the draw. Was this not what I just looked at? Euro USD? No, what did I look at? What was this? Oh, Euro Aussie. I was like, okay. All right, this looks a little bit better. Just obviously bearish on the higher time frame. We just retraced to equilibrium. Is what it looks like. OTE. We ticked OTE. And I don't know. This just looks like we're consolidating. I wouldn't like to frame a trade around this at all. We have taken these stops here. We have taken these lows here. So this could be a place where if we respect this order block here, we could end up getting an expansion like higher to then target all this resistance liquidity. But I couldn't really tell you too much about this. I don't really know. Because doesn't higher dollar mean lower euro? I'm pretty sure that's what this means. So I don't know. I probably be a little bit bearish. All right, let's look at this pair. And this will be the last one we look at. Actually, this is yen. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to look at. I don't think there's anything else. So I do want to look at Tesla, bro. Tesla had an amazing day. This is exactly what I've been saying. If you guys know, I was looking for displacement higher to then run all this low resistance liquidity that we've been having, trendline liquidity. This would be maybe if we get if we get an entry offered to us within this gap, I might look to take a trade here, but I don't really know. NZD USD. All right, one last one. NZD USD. I don't know. I've never looked at this one. Okay, this actually doesn't look terrible. Bearish structure overall. Failure swings lower. Expecting these lows to be the draw. Just by looking at that on the monthly draw lower, weekly draw looks lower, weekly order block. So I want to see this get respected if I'm bearish. 100%. Order blocks on the higher time frame are going to be very key. This could be a selling opportunity if the draw is here. This would be a nice selling opportunity. Zoom down to the daily. Then if we're looking at the daily structure, this looks like we're in a daily fair value gap here. So then we can frame a daily internal range liquidity to external range liquidity. This looks pretty nice. Zoom down 4-hour structure. Notice this. Low resistance liquidity to then have smart money reversal to then have something like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on this pair, and this looks pretty bearish. That's just my speculation though. I don't ever trade Forex, so I can't really tell you. I've never back tested Forex as well, so I can't really tell you what I think about that. But yeah, that's basically today's MMXM review. Any last comments you all got? Because I don't got anything else. I'm excited. It feels nice to be back because I didn't have a chart MMXM review on Friday, but it definitely feels back to be here. I'm very excited, excited for what the future has as well. And I will not be live tomorrow morning, but I might be live tomorrow afternoon. Or no, Wednesday. Might be live for FOMC. I will give you guys an update, but just let you guys know that the fact that I'm not streaming is like it's more beneficial for me to study and for me to backtest and for me to find more conviction with how I trade than just me hop on live. Because you guys probably don't want me to hop on live unless I'm profitable. Would you all agree? So why don't we do that? And why don't I just back test, study my ass off, and then I'll hop on when I'm more on the brink of profitability. When I'll be more profitable. And yeah, 100%. ICT is also live. So that's why I'm taking these next 2 days to kind of just learn from the man himself, ICT, and I can guarantee you it's gonna be worth it. We're gonna come back. I will take notes on them and I will post them in the Discord. I'll have the notes in the Discord, so if you guys want to see that in the Discord, it'll be there. If you guys are watching this after I've recorded it, it's still in the Discord if you guys want to see my notes. Anyways, that's all I have. Why don't you do a live back testing? Yes. I really want to do that. I really want to. Honestly, I'm not very good at back testing. I pretty much, whenever I back test, normally what I do is I just play the day over and I just see what price does. But yeah, 100%. I say we do that. Maybe Sundays, I'm not sure for sure, but I think Sundays will be a lot better. Especially now I'm in my new, I got like an office here. So yeah, probably Sundays. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, backtesting streams. I'm definitely cool with that. Yeah, I feel like those would be beneficial as well. Like people can just see price action as well. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys tonight, and hopefully y'all have a. Oh, should we do backtesting streams every single day, or do you think that's insane? Do you think that's insane? If I did backtesting streams every single night for an hour, we just backtested every single day. So I had road to funded, chart, MMXM review, and then I had backtesting stream. Or we could just combine backtesting stream with MMXM review. Would y'all want to do that? I feel like that would be kind of good. Or like we can just combine MMXM review backtesting all into one. I feel like that's sick. Wait, low key? Hold up. We're not gonna backtest today, but we'll backtest tomorrow. We'll make that up. We'll backtest for an hour tomorrow. So the MMXM review tomorrow will be like an hour and 45 minutes, preferably. You'll always be here. I appreciate it. Forward testing is good too. Yeah, I would say forward testing is more beneficial than backtesting, honestly, because backtesting, especially on FX replay, I don't like how you're not able to see how those candles respond in real time, and like whenever I backtest on FX replay, I kind of go too fast. You guys know what I mean? But that's all I'm saying. Anyways, I'm head out of here. Hopefully y'all have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow for MMXM review and backtesting. So